This video covers fall review number 2. So problem 1 is talking, or this whole thing is talking about lines. Example 1 says the constant of variation for a function is 2. Which of the following best represents this? So what's important to remember is that constant of variation means slope. So they are asking which of these graphs has a slope of 2. So I'm going to pick 2 points and see, do I go up 2 and to the right 1? And if I do that, does my line exist there? So on this one, if I go up 2, right 1, that one does exist. So 2 points. If I go up 2, right 1, my line is not there. Up 2, right 1, my line is not there. And up 2, right 1, my line is not there. So constant of variation is just a fancy way of saying slope. And remember, you go up and then to the right. Example 2, they are asking what is the range for that function if the domain is less than or equal to 4, greater than or equal to 4 and less than or equal to 8. So I'm going to hop over to my calculator because that's one of the ways that we learned how to do domain and range. So I went to y equals and I'm typing in the function. Now remember, domain is your x's and your x's are going from 4 to 8. And they are asking you about the range, which is your y's. So I'm going to go to the table, and when x is 4, y is 11. And when x is 8, y is 23. And the only one that has those numbers is answer choice J, which is the answer I'm looking for. Now you could graph this if you wanted to, but none of these are going to sit on your graph, so it doesn't really help you to graph it, which is why I hopped to the calculator. Domain for y equals 3x plus 5, so I can plug that into my calculator. And this one I'm going to look at the graph. When I look at this graph, it is a straight line, and they did not tell me any endpoints. Example 2, they told me where to stop, but example 3, we do not have any stopping point, which will be answer choice B for all real numbers. Example 4, they want you to use the slope of -3 and the slope of -4 and the point -3, 6 to plug in. I notice all of these are in point slope, which is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So I'm going to label my point x1, y1, and my m value is the slope. So when I plug in to point slope, remember I only plug in where I have little ones or m's. So y minus y1, minus y1, which is 6. So if I just look right now, I can cross out F, G, and J, because the only one that has a -6 is answer choice H. Example 5, they want a straight line that goes through the points 3, 12, and 7, 4. So I have 2 points. I'm going to put that into stat edit. So I write out my table first. Remember, in your table, the points need to be right next to each other. So I'm going to go stat edit. If there's anything in there, we clear it out. Remember, we never, ever, ever delete the list. We clear out the list. So my x's are 3 and 7. My y's are 12 and 4. And then I'll click Stat, scroll to Calc, option 4, enter, enter, enter. And so my equation is -2x plus 18, which is answer choice B. Example 6, we are given a 0.51 and a slope -4/5, and they ask for standard form. So first, because I have a point and a slope, I'm going to plug into point slope, which we already wrote on this paper. So y minus y1, which is 1, equals my slope, x minus x1. And from here, I'm trying to get it into standard form. If you don't remember what standard form is, look at all of your answer choices. They all have x's and y's on the same side together. So I'm going to take -4/5 and multiply it or distribute it to everything in the parentheses. I'm going to move 1 to the other side, so this is in y equals mx plus b form. I'm going to move x to the same side as y, and I'm going to rewrite that over here. So 4/5 x plus y equals 5. And then when I look at all of my answer choices, I'm reminded that none of them have fractions. And to get rid of a fraction, we multiply by the denominator of the fraction. So the bottom of the fraction goes to every piece. So 4/5 times 5, if you plug it into your calculator, if you don't believe me, they will cancel the denominators and you're just left with 4x. So I can automatically mark out h and j because they don't have 4x. 5 times y is 5y, and 5 times 5 is 25, and this matches answer choice F. Example 7, we have a line with a y-intercept of 5 and x-intercept of 5, y-intercept of 10. So remember, anytime you see the word intercept, it means the other number is 0. So x-intercept means y is 0, y-intercept means x is 0. I have 2 points, so I can plug those into stat edit. So stat edit, I have 5 and 0 as my x's, and 0 and 10 as my y's. Calc 4. And C is my answer choice. Notice neither of these have -2's, and this does not have a 10. Example 8, what is parallel to this line? So parallel means it has the same slope. So what I'm going to do is just solve for m. So I'm really just looking at the m's, the y's and the m's. So here my slope is -2/3. Remember, m is whatever's in front of x. So all I'm doing is getting y by itself and looking at what's in front of x. So for part A, I'm going to move 4x. So -6y equals -4. Divide by -6. -4 divided by -6. Math, enter, is 2/3. But I need a negative, so A is not my answer. B, move X. So 6y equals 4x divided by 6. We just did 4 divided by 6 is 2/3. Again, not a negative. C, I move X. So 6y equals -4x divided by 6. So -4 divided by 6, math, enter, is a -2/3, which matches the same slope. And if I wanted to double check, answer choice D, -6 divided by 4, math, enter, and I get 3/2, which is not what I'm needing. So C is my answer. I know this looks like a lot of work, but I'm trying to save you some time in telling you that all you really have to look at is this slope. Example 9, they want the range of the function. The first thing I'm going to do is remind myself that range means y. Because of Dr. XY, range is my y's. So I can automatically mark out F and H. I haven't even looked at the problem, but I know there's no way those could be correct because they don't have y's or numbers involving y's there. And then G and J are my answers that I'm looking at. So range is my y's. I go all the way to the bottom, which is -3, all the way to 4. And because this is a line, everything in between is going to be included. Answer choice J is not possible because answer choice J does not include all of those pieces. Answer choice J says it's -4, 0, and 4, 0, and -3, and does not include anything in between these two spots. So J could not be my correct answer. And example 10 is the last one. They give us a point and they want it to be perpendicular to this graph in standard form. So first I need to figure out what my slope is. So -6y and -x divide by -6. So my m value is a +1/6. So for it to be perpendicular, we need to flop the slope, which would be a -6, and then I have my point -2,5 for my x1, y1. So I'm going to plug into point slope. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, and rearrange this to standard form. So I distribute -6 times x, -6 times 2. I add 5 to both sides, so y equals -6x minus 7. and then add 6 or move 6 to the other side. So 6x plus y equals negative 7, which is answer choice